Welcome everybody to D5 Questing. This is the series premiere. You only get one of these anytime you start a show, really. It doesn't matter what show it is. And this is the series premiere. We're coming to you live from my basement. Anyways, D5 Questing, what we're doing is we're a bunch of friends, family, a bunch of guys trying to get together, play some RPGs. We had this crazy idea one day that we thought all of us like to play these RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons or the Star Wars RPG, but we never could really hammer out a group and get a group going and started and steady. So me and some of the crew here, which we'll introduce them in just 1 minute, decided that we'd start an actual group. And in order to get the spousal units on board, we had to say that we were going to start a podcast. So we're playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition for us, and we're recording the podcast for the spouses to make it look like we're actually doing something. And you guys get to take advantage of that. So, with that being said, let's jump right into it and introduce some of the characters. First, to my left, we have one of my favorite cousins, as it were. His name is H. H, take it away.
Yeah, my name's H. Pretty pumped to do this podcast. So it was a way to help my wife say, yeah, I can do this. I'll
kind of hang out with the friends.
Yeah, that's right. I'll be playing the character Durfee McFadden. I'm a half elf.
Can you say that one more time?
Durfee McFadden. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited for this. Anyway, so yeah, that's
what kind of RPG experience do you have?
So as far as RPG experience, I've really only played Dungeons and Dragons before. I haven't done any other RPGs than that. I used to play in high school with my friends all the time.
Did you graduate high school?
I did.
That is surprising to all of us. What edition of D&D did you play?
We played 5e. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've only ever played 5e before, and so I'm excited to see what Pathfinder's all about, and excited for the new experience here.
And to his left, welcome, by the way, welcome to the show. Glad to have you. Glad that you can.
It's good to be here.
To his left, we have mi hermano, my bro. His name is Jake. Jake, take it away.
Howdy, I'm Jake. I'm going to be playing a character named Torvo.
Can you spell that for the fans?
Yeah, Torvo.
Vector O.
Yeah, Victor.
Yeah. Victor. What's your vector, Victor?
Yeah. What I'm going to be, that'll be discovered in game.
Oh yeah, I did fail to mention that this is the first time I had everybody create their characters aside from each other, so I was involved in it. I knew what they were doing, but this is nobody else knows what anybody else is playing. So this is the first time they're actually hearing character names. This is the first time they're hearing anything about the other characters. So Jake's playing Torvo, and what role-playing games have you been a part of?
I used to be the DM for a lot of the games that we played growing up a bit. I was introduced to D&D way back in 2nd edition, and played it ever since then.
You're really aging yourself there.
I know. Played heavy 2nd edition, 3rd 3.5, 4 is garbage. And I played 5th edition. After 5th edition, we came across this Pathfinder stuff. In between then, I've done a whole lot of goofy crap. Call of Cthulhu, tried some hero stuff, Star Wars.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't know why you would know this better than I would, but you're actually the one that introduced me to Dungeons & Dragons.
That's true.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
And we started playing in my parents' basement, 3.5, and that was a good time. Maybe some other time we can tell you all about that first experience.
Yeah, right. It was horrible.
No, it was good though. I enjoyed it, and here I am. And this is, I don't want to say this is your first time being a player, but you definitely do a lot more DMing or GMing.
Long time DM, short time player.
So when we first came up with this idea, he said, I'd love to be a part of it. I'd prefer it if I didn't have to DM. I will if I need to, but I'd prefer to be a player. So
yeah. So I'm really excited.
For me, I was chomping at the bit to be your game master.
Yeah, get to let my freak flag fly.
So to his left, we have Reed, another cousin, H's hermano, his brother. Take it away, Reed.
Hi, yeah, I'm Reed, and I guess my experience with the role-playing games has been 3 failed experiments with a group of friends who are our DM constantly our DM would just say, well, I don't want to DM anymore.
And just stop, just give up.
Just stop. It really sucks.
That's awful.
We build these characters up, and we had a lot of fun with it, at least I thought we did, and then all of a sudden, this was done. So, fun ended.
That's too bad. Sorry to hear that, but
That's okay. I've always enjoyed it.
I'm a little bit glad though, because if you were heavily involved in any one of those 3 failed attempts, then we might not have got you for this.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad. This is how the conversation went with Reed. I said, Reed, me and Jake are thinking about starting a podcast, playing Pathfinder. What do you think? And you said, I'm in. So that's about how everybody was.
But I was the hardest one to convince at that point. It was just like, Pathfinder, huh? I'm in.
Yeah, we initially were going to play 5th edition, Dungeons & Dragons, but Pathfinder 2e came out recently, and none of us have actually played Pathfinder at all, if I'm not mistaken.
No. 2e's a whole nother thing, though.
Yeah, 2e's a whole nother bite. And so we looked at that, and we thought, man, we were probably, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks away from recording today when we made the switch. I mean, characters had already been rolled up.
Yep.
Backstories had been...
Literally for me, that's what I did. I rolled my character completely. Everything was random about my character in that one.
That was
this one, though.
Yeah, that back character, Reed's previous character was a mess. We'll release that in some of the bonus content.
That was fun, though.
He even rolled randomly on his name, like letter by letter. He got
I really did.
26 D26 out and rolled each individual letter. So to Reed's left is another hermano.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Reed didn't introduce who he's playing.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
What's going on
I guess
here?
your character's not important. To Reed's left. Reed,
So I'll be playing a character named Mordax.
is that Mordax or Lesdax?
No, it's more.
First lame joke on the show right there. Mordax.
The first lane joke was just you talking.
Oh.
Short end of the stick.
It's like someone's been around here with the ugly stick. And anything else you'd like to tell us about Mordax? Not right now?
No.
Mostly because I said no? Don't do it?
No, mostly because you now embarrassed me.
Reed is getting up and walking away from the table now. All right, so we are down to 3 players. There it is. To Reed's left is my other hermano, one of them, John, and John hails from another country. I don't know if you want to indulge us on that, but he actually woke up this morning at 2:30 to drive to the airport. How long did it take you to get to the airport from your house?
That was about a 2-hour drive.
2-hour drive to get to the airport, and then how long of a flight?
About an hour and 50 minutes, yeah.
And so he, and that was your first plane ride, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was my first plane ride, and it was enjoyable. Like an escalator going up, elevator coming down with brakes off.
And it's a rainy day, and so you had a little bit of turbulence as you were coming in.
Yeah, it was entertaining to say the least.
Well, welcome. I'm really glad you could make it. And so you were probably the most eager to be a part of the show, but the hardest to get here.
Yeah, I will say I've been looking to play for a long time. Played a lot in school. It's a long time ago, by the way. And a lot of it was homebrew. So actually getting to something more structured is great. And I'm looking forward to actually playing something completely new for all of us. So no one's got to slightly a head start on anyone else.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it, to be involved in it. And tell us, who are you playing?
My character's name is Rav Rurira, Iron Oak. So
good luck spelling that, folks.
Yeah, help us out.
Exactly how it sounds, actually. It's an R after every vowel.
Oh,
so Rav Rurira.
Call him Rav for short.
Yeah, and his name's going to be Rav, R-A-V, for short.
Spell that last name one more time for the fans at home.
The last name, first name?
Last name.
Last name is Iron Oak.
Oh, my goodness. That was all his first name?
Yeah, Rav Rurira is just his first name.
And his last name, Iron Oak?
Iron Oak, yeah.
Or Iron Oak.
I capitalized all the R's.
Is that
yeah.
Is that apostrophes after every name?
No. That's all.
He has
rolling
4
off the
names.
tongue.
Or is it all compacted?
All compacted. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Is that that's the French spelling though, isn't it?
All right.
That's how his parents gave him his name. So we're just gonna go with that.
Okay, that's fair. It's fair. Playing this one close to the chest.
Fair enough.
So those are our players. My name's Jacob. I'm the dungeon master, game master, god of this world, god of gods, as it were. No, this is a homebrew setting. We went through and looked at what Paizo has done. Paizo is the creator of Pathfinder, and they've done a phenomenal job. I've been really impressed as I've gone through and looked at the player's handbook, the bestiary,
Core rulebook.
core rulebook. See, and you're going to get things like that. And I apologize ahead of time, where I'm probably going to call for checks from Dungeons and Dragons, or you guys will say, "Can I make this kind of check?" And that's just fine. But we're learning as we go. But I've been really impressed with what Paizo's done. I love reading about the Galarian setting. That was a lot of fun for me to learn about and read about. But we, as a group, decided we wanted to do something homebrew. So this world that we're playing in is called Eliberar, Eliberar, and it's a world that I created for this show. And I created a little 2-page history, a little brief history of Eliberar, and the conflicts that are there, the races that are there, things like that. But a lot of the stuff that we go through is going to be made up as we go. So, but that's the whole point of playing an RPG, is making stuff up as you go. That being said, we also, for you guys, we're going to try and release these episodes, a 1-hour episode once a week. And so you guys can, you don't have to wait 2 months for another episode. But we're going to be recording them probably once every other month, just because it is tricky to get everybody together, just because of how far apart we live, and we don't want to break John's bank by making him spend $500 on a plane ticket every week. So,
yeah, I appreciate that.
So we'll be meeting every other month for 8 hours to record and stuff. For us, it's going to be easy because it's going to be like a 2-minute wait before we hit record and start the next episode. For you guys, it'll be about a week. Any other housekeeping items before we jump right into it?
I mean, if you want to listen to it every day, just pause it like 10 minutes.
That's not a bad idea.
You just pause it 10 minutes, and then that'll be good.
That's a good idea.
That works.
So we are starting in the... Man, this is it. We're going now. We're starting in the northwestern quadrant of Eliberar, in a small town called Riverbend. Now, for those of you that came prepared and brought their maps, I framed mine because I hung it up on my wall. But Riverbend, you guys see it up there? Riverbend, up there by Middle Lake. Real creative names up here. Riverbend, Middle Lake. And Riverbend... Oh, one other thing. I'm sorry, before we get going. For more background on the world, if you're listening to episode 1, which is what you're listening to right now, and you haven't listened to episode 0, go back and listen to episode 0. It'll tell you the brief history of where we're playing and a little bit more about what's going on. So stop now, go listen to that, and then skip to the 15-minute mark in this episode, and you won't have missed a thing. So Riverbend is a city up there in the northwest quadrant. It's got a population of about 1,000 people, individuals, citizens. It's somewhat of a busy town. It's an up and coming town, and their big exports are forestry, lumber. Peaches. If you look at the map, you see the orchards there to the. Oh, yeah, I did hand out the maps, the town maps. There to the west, there's a whole bunch of orchards. Those are all peach orchards. And fun fact for you: Riverbend is actually where the largest known peach was grown, and they have the peach pit on display in the town square. So if anybody wants to go take a look at that while I'm giving the intro, you're more than welcome to. Just a little fun fact. Indisputed, where it was the town that it came from.
I'll decide.
What?
I said I'll decide.
You'll decide? All right, I don't know. I've seen quite a few peaches in my life. But Riverbend, like I said, is lumber, peaches, and pecans, depending on what part of the country you're from, are the primary exports from Riverbend. There are two main families that live in Riverbend: the Wellingtons and the Fauntleroys. The Wellingtons and the Fauntleroys. The Wellingtons and the Fauntleroys don't particularly get along very good. If you look at your map, and I'll make these maps available where I don't know. That's Jake's side of things. Wherever we put stuff, the map will be there. But if you look at the map, number 21 is the Wellington Estates, and number 22 is the Fauntleroy Farms. Now, Wellington Estates, a little background on the Wellington Estates. They primarily are sheep herders, and they're trying to get out of the peach growing game, but they're sheep herders. That's primarily what they work for. There's not a whole lot of remaining cleared out ground to use for livestock and growing agriculture. Basically, what you see on the map there is what's available at the time. The reason why you can't grow anything over by the proper forest, that's all completely cleared out for any potential attacks coming from that side. And so they've got watchtowers around. You see one right there on the edge of the proper forest to look out for it. So they leave that open in the event of an attack. So you can't grow anything over there. There's not really any settlements or any danger to the west of Riverbend, and so that's where they keep primarily their agriculture and livestock. So. As I was saying, the Wellingtons primarily think that the land should be used for livestock. The Fauntleroys think that it should be used for agricultural needs, peaches, pecans, that sort of thing. And another big reason why the Wellingtons are getting out of the game is because of the dispute. Remember that giant peach that I told you about earlier? There's dispute as to far as where that was actually grown, who grew it. The peach was so big, rumor has it, that it blocked the road, and so again, you can go look at the peach pit if you'd like.
Oh, I will.
So that being said, you can take that with a grain of salt if you want. There's just kind of a little backstory as far as the town, a little bit about Riverbend. Again, not every building is shown on the map. I got tired after what you see there, and so I decided to stop. Some other things that you guys might know about Riverbend. The demographics, it's about 60% human, 25% elven, 10% goblin, and 5% everything else. Real melting pot. The main primary deity that they worship is Swiatlo, and if you remember from the history, Swiatlo is the goddess of fertility, the harvest, life, and love, and her symbol is a sheaf of wheat or a circle, and so they worship the new gods here, but they're not hostile towards dragon worshippers, the Tarragons. So keep that in mind as you go through your own individual journeys in town. Yeah, so let's get started. I handed out the map of the Stuck Pig Tavern there, and I want you guys to go ahead and, put a dice wherever you'd like to be sitting. I didn't bring any minis. I apologize. Actually, I might have... Yeah, I've got a couple of these here. But go ahead and put wherever, and remember what dice you're going to be, because if not, it's going to get real messy real quick. Okay? The Stuck Pig Tavern is there's two taverns in town. There's the Stuck Pig Tavern, which where you guys are at, number 2 on the map, and there's also the Fisherman's Medicine is what it's called. Fisherman's Medicine Tavern. It's where the fishermen go to get their medicine before they go out to start fishing, if you know what I mean. So they're kind of rivals, but those are the two rival inns in Riverbend. So let's take a little minute here, and you guys go ahead and describe what the other players see when they look around. In the inn right now is Ragbon Smythe. He is the owner-operator of the Stuck Pig Inn, Ragbon Smythe. He runs the Stuck Pig. Very proud of it. This is the way things are kind of guy. Matter-of-factly, you have your opinion, but it's probably wrong. This is my opinion, and he sticks with that. And so he's tending bar behind. There's a few patrons mingling about, probably a handful or so. Typical Saturday morning rush for breakfast. You guys are there, I'd imagine, enjoying your breakfast. Whether or not you're staying at the Stuck Pig Tavern is your choice. I'll leave that up to you. And so H, go ahead. Tell us what they see when they look at you.
Okay, well, I'm just sitting here at the bar. I'm just enjoying breakfast, enjoying my time, questioning some severe things here. I don't know. Are we delving into backstories, or
you don't need to delve into backstory quite yet. There's a chance for that here in a minute.
So yes, no, I'm just sitting here at the bar, eating my breakfast and deeply pondering. And kind of have a dazed off look in my eyes of thinking.
What race are you?
I am a half elf.
Ah, you're half elf.
Yes, I got the nice human characteristics going on, especially in my face and my eyes. I don't look like an elf, but I got the slightly pointed ears there.
You look like a half elf freak, is what you look like.
Well, unfortunately, that's what I am. So, I'm just kidding. No. Fortunately, I'm a half elf.
What hair color, any characteristics, any defining scars, or what you're wearing, anything like that you'd like to share?
Yeah, sure. I got a scar going across my left eye. Okay.
Can you still see out of it?
Oh yeah. No, yeah. I'm not blind or anything. It was just went over the top there. Anyway, so yeah, I'm fairly tan. Spend most of my time outside, so I'm a good character. Outdoorsy type.
You look like a wood chipper spit you out.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
I like how that was my go-to for outdoorsy. we all know the outdoorsy type.
Clearly you're not one.
Is there anything you'd like to stand up and proclaim by chance? That's not me trying to say, are you forgetting anything? But any eccentricities we should be aware of?
I don't know. I'm a pretty simple person.
Down to earth? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Night terrors. I bet you got night terrors.
Sounds about right.
Hey, that's to be determined. You don't know that yet.
You look like you have
Wait until we started.
You look like you're scared.
Roll for night terrors.
That was actually his character's nickname in high school, was the Night Terror.
Yeah.
So
He used to call me Night Terror.
karma is unkind to him. Jake, what do where are you sitting at? Are you number 1 on that D4?
I'm number 2.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, ironically, almost everybody but Reed, we sat down in numbered order around the board.
I was the first one to sit down. You guys see
yeah.
it was me.
Yeah, somehow no, because we're going clockwise here.
So I find myself, I guess, in the southwestish corner of the room, at a table in the corner, back where the shadows kind of meet.
Classic Lord of the Rings, Aragorn sitting off in the corner.
Yeah. I was thinking ring wraith myself for who I look. No.
I knew it.
So, that was.
You just said southwest.
I ain't knocking on you. I said northwest.
Oh,
Well, I'm
you're
sitting
in the southwest now.
I'm sitting in the south. No, yeah, right. I was sitting in the southwest because
I didn't
look.
even think about
If
that.
you look at that, there's where the door is, and if you look at your main map.
No, I hear you.
So,
Gosh dang.
It
anyways,
looks like there's 4 doors going out, though.
I really hate to be that particular guy. I'll try not to be.
Let's get the map situated with north facing north.
I'm gonna be that player in this game. Apparently, I'll tell the DM what his business is. So yeah. Right.
Alright, so which way should north be?
Right,
North should be like kind of canted at that corner up top.
This way?
Yeah. If I'm accurately looking at your
So
map.
if you're accurately looking at it, then you're in the south corner.
Yeah, just straight south, I guess. Yeah. So I'm sitting at the table brooding in the corner.
Are you really brooding?
No, I'm not brooding.
Sitting in the corner pouting?
I would imagine that some people must seem that it's brooding based upon my race, but it's not brooding to me.
And when people look at you, what do they see?
I am a goblin, and
Really?
I happen to have more a darkish purple pigment to my skin, bald.
For those playing along at home, you described it to me when we were setting up your character, similar to the goblin on what page in the?
Yeah, if you look at the page for the goblin in the core rulebook.
I know. Did we write it down on your character sheet?
Yeah.
So we didn't have to spend time looking for it.
But we didn't.
What's your eye color there?
Red.
That's what it
And
looks
all
like.
goblins are red.
Just kidding. That's not what it looks like.
Yeah. More of the skin pigment and facial features would be that goblin that exists on there, not the fat of
Sloppy.
holding my cucumber and
I think it's a pickle.
a pickle with all the cooking utensils.
Smoking a pickle.
Anyways, but at least my color tone and stuff I would say would be very reminiscent of the goblin that exists in the in the core rulebook.
I thought it was in the goblin section, but that is.
It is.
It's not.
No, it is.
It's the next page over.
Okay.
Yeah, it is on Goblin itself.
So that is an exact picture of what Jake looks like
No.
to this day.
You're saying you're darker than that?
Yeah, I'm a little darker than that in tone. So, I have a wrap on all of my body. My whole body's covered, almost all the way up to my hands.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. In a very earthen tones is my garb. And I'm just looking around very, not wary, but very aware of what's going on around me. I'm just observing. I don't have anything with me. I have a cup in front of me, but if any clear observer was to look, it hasn't even really been drank from.
Maybe we should have them decide that.
Yeah.
Everyone make a perception check.
I don't give a crap.
I just did.
I'd tell somebody. No. And
Hey, just so you guys know, this cup has not been drunk out of.
I have my pack near me that seems to be loaded, but nothing else visible on my person that would say
Okay. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Reed. Excuse me. Man, I already forgot your name.
Okay,
I wrote it down.
You called everyone.
Mordax.
You called everyone else by their.
I know. I want to start using your real
You
names.
said H, you said Jake, you said Reed.
I know, right?
Mordax.
Okay.
Talk to me, Mordax.
Mordax. So I'm sitting in the looks like the east corner of the inn there, in the main part.
Okay.
And I'm looking around everybody, but what everyone's seeing from me here is a green-skinned goblin. Yeah, this is great, but this not really wearing a shirt, but having kind of. I can't remember what
Ripped?
Yeah. Ripped goblin sitting over here with the
Jack.
battle axe on his back.
You stacked for days, huh?
I got a battle axe on my back, and it's just an odd scene for me. Green goblin sitting there with I got a plate of food in front of me, and I'm just chowing down. And as much
Prison
as I can
style,
here.
are you like
Oh, no,
hovering
no,
over your food?
No, I'm just
You going to town, man?
I'm sitting in this part of the corner, this part of the inn, so I can watch the doors and making sure that no one can come up on me here.
Okay.
So.
Okay. John. Excuse me, Rav. I should have written these down in order that you guys are sitting.
That might have worked.
Yeah, that really would have worked out. You just decided chaos is your
No,
friend?
I wrote down everybody's ability scores before we started. And you guys were sitting in a different.
Just name equals this person.
Oh, we didn't sit to where you thought we were going to be sitting?
No,
you were like, totally. H and reader.
All right, let's call it a wrap and let's fix this. We'll be right back
That's
after
it for episode. No,
we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors. Excuse me, Rav.
Yeah.
Rav.
Iron
Rubble.
It's Reed.
Mr. Iron Orc, please.
Yeah. I'm looking around. Being
Or is it Ms. Iron Orc?
No.
Iron Oak?
No. Yeah. Come on, this is nice strong. Anyways, yeah. So I'm got a cloak on, heavy cloak, hood pulled tight, drinking steamy drink in front of me. You guys can't really see anything. I'm in the corner of the bar opposite, so north corner, sitting against the bar and just, casually looking out. No one can really see anything of me. They can just tell that I'm tall.
No discernible race. You're an it.
No, my hood
He's got a cloak on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a heavy winter coat.
He's Kenny from South Park.
Yeah, right.
So,
Alright.
yeah. So I'll leave everything else up to the imagination. And,
Eyes glowing.
How tall did you say you were?
He didn't.
You
He
want
just said
height?
people can see.
Not necessarily an actual height, but I mean, just so they can
Tall.
maybe rule out some races.
let's see.
Yeah, you're not Gobbo tall, are you? 3 feet?
No.
3 inches.
Yeah.
You guys are all up to my waist. So
Oh, even me.
human or
Even the elf.
You're tall.
Even the half elf's up to your waist, huh?
no, I was referring to the
Okay.
Other, sorry for that.
This is awkward.
Not quite.
You know what? How dare you assume all that? That's just terrible.
How dare you tell me?
I am looking at observing, and I am taller than approximately a third of the patrons. So.
I thought you said you weren't observing. I thought you were
No, I said I am
nursing
observing.
your beer.
No, I said a steamy drink.
So those sitting at the bar, are you facing the bar? Did you say?
So I'm kind of faced out, looking at the northeastern side. So I'm in the very back corner of the bar here.
Me.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can see the room. I can see what's going on.
Did you
But
guys
I'm
get
still
that?
just kind of spaced out.
Did you guys get that thing in the middle is the hearth fireplace area? Okay.
Which cuts off my vision of
I thought that's where the maitre d'.
the DJ's just.
Yeah, dig it.
Turntables out there.
Welcome to Club Stuck Pig. Okay. So as you four and others in the tavern are sitting there, minding your own business and looking at the events unfolding before you, just kind of figuring out what to do in your own personal lives, someone bursts through the door, dripping wet from the rain outside. It's a wet fall day outside in Riverbend today. But he bursts in and he goes, "Help! Please! I know this sounds crazy, but my family and household have all been turned to stone. I need help avenging them, and can't." And he's cut off by our dear friend, the barkeep, old Ragbon. Ragbon says, "Now, don't be wandering in here, Richard, and you can't be barging into my tavern and start making claims, frankly outrageous claims about people being turned to stone. Nobody's ever been turned to stone before. Not leastways around here, around these parts. I don't know what you're going on about. Now you're gonna have to leave, or we're gonna have to call the guards again, like how we did before. And you don't want another scene now. Now please leave, Richard. To which Richard, the man who burst in, says, "But please, this is my family we're talking about." And Ragbon cuts him off again. "Richard, this is my livelihood for my family. Surely you understand. Please don't make me call the guards." Richard kind of straightens up a little bit and says, "All right, I'll leave, but only because I can't help my family if I'm in prison. But I will call upon any of those that are willing to help me free my family from their own stone prisons. For any brave enough to help, meet me at the North Stables in 1 hour's time." And he departs henceforth. Ragbon kind of mutters, "Sorry about that, folks. Everybody knows Crazy Richard. Kind of always carrying on about something. Sorry about that." And offers anybody who's disgruntled or who looks disgruntled a drink on the house.
Torvo grabs his pack, and I'm just going to walk out the front door, following Richard.
Okay. And Mordax stands up, grabs his pack, and walks out too.
Okay.
Durfee's over here in the corner. He's still a little spaced out, kind of heard a little bit of what was going on, and figured, I could probably help this guy. Maybe I'll stammer out there too. So.
Interesting.
And Rav takes a special interest in what he said. He downs his drink, grabs his stuff, and follows suit with everyone else. Wanders out the door.
Okay. Do you guys walk together, or does anybody try and catch up to Richard? Does anybody pay for their meal before they leave?
My drink was already paid for, so I know I'm good.
You're like, this is the one that was on the house, and I have my money back.
I've been at the inn for quite some time, and so I already paid.
My meal was paid for too.
Perfect.
Did Richard go sprinting out, or what?
No, he walks out, and you can clearly tell as you guys are kind of falling behind. He's basically going establishment to establishment, looking for anybody that is willing to help him with this toboggle that he's found himself.
So I'm gonna keep a healthy distance, and I'm just gonna kind of observe what's going on until we get to the stables.
Okay. Nobody else is following him.
So he's walking through the middle of town up towards the North Stables.
Yeah, walking up towards the North Stables, up past the Weaver.
Just poking his head into everything.
Yeah, kind of similar scene that you see.
Does he act as
erratic? Yes.
Every time.
Every time.
All right.
And every time he's kind of met with the same, "Get out of here, Richard. We don't want to call the guards again. You've embarrassed yourself and your family enough. Come on."
Okay. Yeah. Well, then I'm going to wait until me personally, I'm going to hold back until he gets more out of the town proper to approach him.
Okay. That's fine.
I'll walk along with my goblin companion.
I look warily.
Morning, friend.
Now it's just a line of people stalking each other.
I'm moving from shadow to shadow. No.
A real stealth check.
Yeah, right.
I noticed.
Yeah, Rav is going to actually move a little bit swifter, still keep his distance, but he's going to actually push his way through the three in front of him and kind of, he's in a little bit of a hurry. Wants to hear more what's going on.
Okay. Go ahead and roll perception check for me. Good old Rav.
Okay, well, my natural perception is 8. So I add that to whatever I roll.
Yep.
28.
Wow, nat 20 on that.
You guys got perception for days.
So your unknown racial ears. Like I said, you're kind of more or less the same thing, but you can tell in his voice that he seems sincere, despite the fact that nobody's paying attention to him or heeding. You get the feeling and the impression that he's being sincere in what he says.
Yeah.
I'm just keep following behind.
No,
I'm just watching.
I'm going to catch up to this here. No, Mordex is going to catch up to.
Is he taking so much time that he's
how
delaying? Like, if I wanted to continue, that's what I'm wondering.
He's trying to. He's saying the same message over and over again in each of these places that he goes to.
Right.
So you can tell that he's kind of wanting to go through the town proper before the meeting time. And so as time kind of ticks by, we're meeting at the North Stables in 50 minutes. We're meeting at the North Stables in 45 minutes. And,
Gotcha.
And as everybody, has their wristwatch on them, they're all very astute to the time.
Time dial.
Yeah.
What's the last place that he went to?
The last place that he goes to on his journey, or like the most recent place?
The most recent that he's been to.
So we'll say he's making his way down Weaver, Baker, Blacksmith, that road. He avoids the barracks as he kind of goes up and goes to the Potter.
All right. After he passes the blacksmith, I'm going to stop and talk to the blacksmith.
Okay.
I'm just going to meet him at the.
Yeah, I'm going to the
stables.
stables.
That's where I'm going.
Okay. We'll catch up with you two in a minute. I don't know why I said it like that.
Hey, buddy. Take some time to talk to each other.
I'm slowly still following him, but keep my close eye on him. But yeah, same thing. I'm actually going to wait till he gets a little further out, not surrounded by main buildings.
Okay.
So
you're going to try and approach him as well?
Yeah, I'm going to approach him as well, but again, it's going to be when he's, more on the way out. I'm not going to go ahead of him and wait.
So you're kind of falling behind. So we'll say that Mr. McFadden, the Derfster, approaches him first. How do you approach him?
Oh, I'm not. I wanted to approach the blacksmith.
I'm sorry. I thought you were trying to approach
No. I'm not going to meet up with him until he's at the stables.
Okay. So you go into the blacksmith shop?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you say anything to the blacksmith or just walk in?
I wanna talk to the blacksmith. Hello, sir. My name is Durfee McFadden. I was just wondering if you knew.
Good morning, Mr. McFadden. What can I do for you?
I was just wondering if you knew much about that man Richard there.
Richard, I'm sure you've heard the stories. You're new here, aren't you, friend?
Yes. I don't come to town very often.
Well, Richard is eccentric. He's eccentric. He's run on some hard times, and he just has had a string of bad luck.
What can you tell me about what he's done? What is his profession?
Yeah, he used to work out there at one of the farms down there, one of the peach farms for the Fauntleroys. But he got into some bad business and decided to. You see, he lives closer to the Wellington's side of the road out there, and so he tried to switch sides, so to speak, and the Fauntleroys didn't take much liking to that, so they came and kind of gave him a runaround, and but I shouldn't be saying that too much after that.
Oh, gotcha. So his name's been smeared a little bit.
You could say that.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, sir. I was just wondering.
Just then, Richard comes in and same thing. Please, I need help. Are you there? And he approaches you. Richard comes up and lays hands on your gentle half-elven shoulders.
Please, sir, don't touch me.
No, you were in the tavern. Are you coming to help?
Yes, sir. I was planning on making my way to the stables for you.
Excellent. Any other brave souls willing to help?
I did notice 3 others stalking you, so
we shouldn't keep them waiting. Come on, that's right. And he kind of marshals you out, and you notice the blacksmith kind of shakes his head a little bit and like, glad he's out of my shop type thing, and continues working.
Okay, you first, Richard. I'll take after you.
So he goes through the door and please tell me about yourself. What I'm Richard, and I'm so grateful that you can help me. I know it sounds absurd, but any help I can get. I know the people that did this, and I know who's responsible, and I'm not nearly strong enough to fix it. Tell me about yourself, so we can develop some sort of plan. You said there were others coming, right?
As far as I noticed, there may have been others coming around. I can see someone over there who may be looking to help. But anyways, we'll get to them in a minute if they decide to come or not. But I find myself somewhat in a similar situation, but I kind of thought it was just a statue. I didn't really think of them as stone people.
So you're saying someone in your family, or you know someone? I don't understand. How can this be?
Oh, I mean, there's a rather depictive statue of me mother sitting in her living room that I don't really know that it's a stone person per se, but I'm willing to help you out if you think it is.
I know I don't know if I can speak for your mother. I'm terribly sorry to hear if that's the case, but I'm.
Let me cut you off there. Did you see anything else?
I'd like to get more of the group together before I discuss anything else.
That's fair enough. Let's keep going.
So you guys kind of continue. You notice who's watching?
Grab is watching, moving up.
You're watching, and you guys went up to the north stables.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and roll another perception check for me, Rav. And you too as well, Mr. McFadden.
19.
19 on that. Okay.
17.
All right, so you guys both notice that as you're walking past where the blacksmith, that corner is, he kind of turns his shoulder a little bit and blocks his view from the militia headquarters that are right there, the barracks. And so you notice that he's trying to avoid that for whatever reason, and then continues on up the road. So he makes one more stop in the Potter's lounge. Do you go and follow in with him there, or
no?
Okay, wait outside.
I'm gonna wait outside.
Okay. So he goes into the Potter's, and does the same thing. You hear people, "Come on, Richard, get out of here!" Like, no good. Get out. Okay. Yes. Fist pumps. Here's the roof. Rah rah ree. Kick him in the knee. All right. So, where are you two located in the north stables?
I figured I was going to stop more on the right as it begins.
Yeah.
Like, so where the pasture area is, I'll just be near those fence posts. I'm just looking around it just to make sure that it's all chill.
Okay.
Pretty much the same thing.
Now, are you guys talking?
I haven't talked to him yet.
No, we haven't talked.
Have you tried talking to him?
I've noticed him, acknowledged him, but he's not going to talk to me.
You guys got on the same elevator and just nodded heads?
Pretty much.
That's how I feel about it.
Thanks for giving that head nod there.
I gave him the bro chin.
Thanks for welcoming me to the area. Excited about that. I'm just kind of looking around, seeing if there's anything mysterious about it. Mysterious.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you roll perception check? You're looking around.
Hey, I got a 23.
23. Torvo?
I got a 16.
So you guys both see Richard coming up. Richard is accompanied by a half-elf, the one that you saw from the stuck pig. And he...
Where's our friend in the Holocaust cloak?
Yeah. We see him coming up behind. We see him?
Yes, you see him. And
Mr. Hot Chocolate himself.
You also see that the rain has let up, so there's no need for a hood anymore. You see him coming up behind, taking up the rear. And you also see a couple other people coming up. 3 other people. There's one person already at the stables, and 2 others. There's a dwarf, and then just 2 humans. Kind of coming up, seeing what it's all about, but not really the huge crowd that you would imagine that Richard was looking for.
Where were they coming from?
They're coming up the road behind. Coming up the road from behind. So they're coming up the road. Richard sees you guys and sits up or stands next to the fence post that Torvo is standing at, and so he kind of sees that you two are gathered there. So he makes his way over to you two with Mr. McFadden. I don't know why it's so hard for me to remember Durfee right now. I even wrote down Durfee.
I like it because it's kind of derpy.
And so he goes, "Are you two? You were in the tavern, weren't you?"
A nod.
Excellent. And you've come here to help?
Yes, we've come to help you. We're here to help you.
Excellent. Goblin or no goblin, I'm grateful for any help. Any help?
What's that supposed to be?
I raised one eyebrow to that.
No, I'm so sorry. It's just,
You think because I'm short?
No. That's not. I'm sorry. I've had just a very trying week on top of the events of this morning. I
just calm down there. Let's what's going on there?
Let's calm it down and let him talk.
I'm so sorry. Please, gather around. If you're here to help, gather around, please. And I assume you.
Yeah, Ralph Jones up there and pulls his cloak back, and so I'm here to help too.
And the race?
Yeah, what are you?
The race is human, black hair. He's got deep black eyes.
Ooh.
No scars, no visible scars, but he's quite tall. He's 6'3", so.
I knew it. So Richard kind of climbs up as best he can onto the fence to just kind of stand above the seven of us that have gathered. And he says, "I'm extremely grateful for the help. I don't recognize some of you, but others." And he kind of motions to the other three. And he goes, "Others, it means a lot to me that you overlook our differences and come and be willing to help."
What do you mean by differences?
Once again, Torvo cocks his eyebrow to everyone just to see reactions.
No.
I'm looking at reactions from everyone.
The other three, clearly from the town, kind of give a nod, and you realize that he meant differences in the town, not different races.
Poor Torvo. Richard puts his foot in his mouth a lot, it seems.
He's had some rough times.
Yeah.
Mordax, calm down.
Now, I believe that I can't reward anybody for coming with me, and there's no monetary value, but I promise you my extreme gratitude if we can get this sorted out and get my family back to their rightful forms. And with that, you see two of the townsfolk kind of leave at the lack of a reward.
Oh, they just were like,
Yeah, exactly. They're just kind of like, well, okay.
Which ones? The dwarf and the human, or the two humans?
The dwarf and the human. The dwarf and one of the humans leaves, and so you still see one of the remaining dwarfs. Played by David Wenham.
oh, excellent.
So,
All right.
Big name actor.
Yeah. Didn't know we had guests, I think.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, David Wenham. Wow. David Wenham just stepped into the to the studio here.
He's a
The
little
old
embarrassed.
basement.
Doesn't want to talk.
No, that's not your line. That's Gimli's line. No, so that's kind of the look. You know, I don't want to say typical human, but it's kind of typical human, long brown hair, shoulder length hair. Anyway, so Richard, seeing that the dwarf and the human leave, kind of is like, well, no matter. We still have a strong group here. The five of us can surely handle ourselves. Please, can you guys? And he keeps kind of looking over his shoulder, kind of back towards town. But can you guys tell me a little bit more about yourself? I want to, before we come up with a game plan, I want to know who we have.
Torvo steps up and says,
Sir, if you will, I would rather that we just go and look at this.
Of course, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, anyways, for coming. Is there anybody that could tell me a little bit, maybe what you're good at? You don't have to if you don't want to.
Looking at statues.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I hopefully we don't have to look at very many statues. Now, at my home where this happened, there was a symbol drawn in front of my wife, and he draws this symbol right here. Don't know if you guys can see that from where y'all are sitting. We'll put that up on the on where we put up things.
Breaking the fourth wall.
And he goes, and so I know that symbol, and I know who did this. I know where we need to go. And it's not going to be easy, but maybe we can find answers. The Stoneform tribe to the south of Riverbend uses that symbol in their sacrifices. It definitely is the symbol. I've seen that symbol before. I know where their village is, but it's like I said there.
How did he show us the symbol?
He drew it in the ground.
In the dirt?
Yeah, in the dirt, or the mud rather.
Okay.
And then quickly, destroyed it. Not necessarily hastily or anything, but just he drew it and then erased it.
Okay.
But it's not going to be easy. Their fortress or their village where they live is situated on the edge of a cliff, and from what I understand, they don't much like outsiders. But I know they're the ones that are responsible for the attack on my family, and it sounds like maybe something from what did you say your name was again?
It's Durfee.
Durfee. I'm so sorry. And that time I did remember.
I don't know about an attack or anything, but I know my parents destroyed my shack and I'm out here now.
I'm sorry to hear about your shack.
How do you know that how do you know that it's that?
That's the exact same symbol that they use.
I recognize the symbol. I saw it too, but I don't know any associations.
Where did you see it?
It was drawn in front of the lifelike statue of me mother.
I see, and that's what they do. That's what this Stoneform tribe does. They're dragon worshippers, the lot of them, and they turn their sacrifices to stone before they sacrifice them ultimately to their dragon deity.
Wait,
Sir.
so you're telling me that they don't just have a really nice stonemason that works and does his work quickly?
That'd be impossible. They're savages.
Sir, I'd prefer if you just calm down and just take us to the place.
Let
us observe it for ourselves.
It's a couple days journey from here, but I know they're the ones who are responsible.